First, under the new administration, what do you like? What would you like to see in terms of a trade policy? Because the administration right now is proposing, for example, a border adjustment tax. What do you think should be done?
Well, actually, so far there is nothing official. It is just comments. But let me tell you that the relationship between Mexico and the United States, it is unique in the world. The trade that exists between our two nations, it is just second to Canada worldwide. So we are the second largest country that exports of the United States goes to. So that is fundamental in order to analyze and put in good perspective what is happening with our nations. The private sector of both countries and also the politicians and officials are already starting to figure out how this negotiation is going to be, in the sense that it has to be a win-win situation. And if you add Canada, it has to be win-win-win situation. So we see it in that perspective because we understand that only if we work as a region, we are going to be competitive against the rest of the world. We are not competing against each other. We are competing against other blocks, other markets, and in order to be as efficient as possible, we need to have that conceptual think of how to do it.
And as you know, the president said that Mexico should pay for the border wall. Do you think Mexico will reimburse the United States for the border wall if they go ahead and fund it, Congress funds it?
No, it's been already said very clearly and loud that Mexico is not going to pay for the wall. So we are working in different scenarios, but that is one issue that Mexico is not taken into consideration at all.
Are there any border security measures you think Mexico should take? Are there border patrol that are Mexican officials paid by the Mexican government there right now on the border helping with the situation? Is there something that you think the Mexican government can do as well?
Well, actually, we just had the visit of Secretary Tillerson and Secretary Kelly to Mexico 2 days ago. And one of the issues that was discussed is how the security, not only of the border, but also of the southern border of Mexico, is going to be addressed. We have the responsibility of southern border, and the two of us have the responsibility of our northern border. So we have a lot of collaborations. I can name so many instruments that exist between Mexico and the United States, not only of trying to work or working together, but also to have a joint training of our forces in order to eliminate a lot of things that could occur. But most importantly, so we have a common threat and common enemy, which is narco trafficking, it is drug trafficking to the United States, and of course weapons going south to Mexico and bulk cash going to Mexico. These are the issues that we keep discussing because it's a collaboration that's been there for so many generations, and we need to enhance it. We need to improve it. We need to strengthen this relationship between Mexico and the U.S.
Now we see the U.S. hiring a lot of extra Border Patrol agents, and the U.S. has a lot of bodies there on the border protecting. Does Mexico have anybody on their side, Mexican Border Patrol officials?
Well, actually, we have a group that is called BETA. It is for helping humanitarian causes. So what we do is to try to make that the people is having a good human rights, and there is no violation of civil rights or human rights. So that is what we are focusing. But also, well, you have your own system for accepting or not people from all over the world. But the cooperation with Mexico is fundamental. Why so? Because as you know, now immigration from Mexico is dropping year by year. If you take the statistics of immigration from last year and previous years, it is just 1/4 of the 100% that come to the United States coming from Mexico. So we are working together in order to do or find a solution of immigrants coming from Central America, for instance, or from third countries or extraterritorial, extracontinental countries like people from Haiti or Cuba or so. These are product of joint policies that we've been working for long.
And will Mexico accept back every undocumented immigrant that commits a crime in the United States and is deported from the U.S.? Because that's been an issue. Will they accept all of them back into Mexico?
As long as they are Mexicans, yes. As long as they are not Mexicans, no.
And last question for you. I wanted to see what you wanted to, put forth and what you would like to see the administration do in terms of not just trade, but just immigration policy overall? What would be the ideal outcome from a meeting if you're
Yes.
planning on meeting with President Trump?
No, well, actually, there is a lot of things that occur on a daily basis in the bilateral relationship. I think there is no other country that is working with the United States that has such a complexity in the agenda as the one that exists between Mexico and the United States. You just mentioned trade and mentioned immigration. I could put on top of that security, and I could put on top of that environment. Can put on top of that also the waters of the rivers. Can put on top of that so many issues that on a daily basis occur. So what Mexico is saying from the very beginning is if we're going to negotiate, we have to have a comprehensive a negotiation with the United States, because there is so many things, and that we want very much so to strengthen these mechanisms that are already there. And this is something that was discussed with the two secretaries of state that were in Mexico 2-3 days ago, how to have this comprehensive analysis of what is happening in the relationship between Mexico and the United States. So to start with the same information and to continue improving this relationship.
Do you plan to meet with President Trump?
Not this time. No, well, actually, when time it is there, I'm sure that two presidents are going to meet. In the meantime, we are very glad that the two secretaries of state, Mr. Tillerson and Mr. Kelly, they went to Mexico as the first visit of the two secretaries to another country. Well, Mr. Kelly went to Guatemala, yes, a couple of hours before going to Mexico, but it's a very positive message. And what we are building and sending as a message is that Mexico is a friend, Mexico is a neighbor, and Mexico is a very good and reliable partner.